King Charles has just ended a Prime Minister's career with only 26 words. No interviews, no appearances, just one perfectly written statement that has shaken the British government to its core. Anyone who thought the monarchy was powerless in 2025 has just been proven wrong. It all began when Prime Minister Keir Starmer, angry and frustrated, publicly attacked King Charles. While the exact words remain debated, one thing is certain: he crossed a line that no British leader has dared to cross in generations. He insulted the crown. And this time, the king refused to stay silent. Within hours, Buckingham Palace was in motion. Late Monday night, King Charles called an emergency meeting with his closest advisors, senior Privy Council members, the Lord Chamberlain, and top constitutional lawyers. Behind closed doors, he reportedly said, "The Prime Minister has crossed a line no leader should ever cross. The monarchy must defend its dignity and survival." By Tuesday morning, Westminster was in panic. The king had ordered a full constitutional review, the first of its kind in modern history. A secret plan titled Operation Sovereign Integrity was drafted, outlining the Crown's legal powers if a Prime Minister ever threatened the monarchy. Downing Street was shaken. "He started a fight he couldn't win," said one insider. But the king wasn't finished. Early Wednesday, sealed letters were delivered to three figures: the opposition leader, the Speaker of the House, and a senior Supreme Court judge. The message, sources said, was clear: protect Britain's constitutional balance. Within hours, the letters leaked. Social media erupted with hashtags like #KingStrikesBack and #DefendTheCrown. The nation's focus shifted, no longer on Starmer's anger, but on the king's quiet strength. Then came the 26 words that changed everything. The BBC interrupted programming for a special bulletin. The King's statement read, "His Majesty remains committed to the unity and stability of the nation. He holds deep respect for Britain's democratic institutions and expects the same respect toward the Crown." No names, no accusations, yet everyone knew who it was for. The message was crystal clear: disrespect the monarchy, and there will be consequences. Crowds gathered outside Buckingham Palace waving flags that read, "Stand with the Crown," and "Defend our King." Even Labour voters condemned Starmer's outburst. "You can argue about policy all day," one woman said, "but you don't insult the king. That's betrayal." Inside Downing Street, panic set in. Starmer's attempts to regain control failed miserably. His interviews made him look desperate. Nigel Farage praised the king's composure live on air, saying, "Silence is not weakness, it's strength." His approval ratings soared overnight. Soon after, reports of furious cabinet meetings surfaced. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner allegedly stormed out after demanding Starmer apologize to the king. When he refused, she reportedly shouted, "You've made yourself the enemy of the people." By Friday, polls showed disaster: 80% of Britons backed the king's response, and nearly 70% wanted Starmer gone. Ministers began resigning, and officials quietly prepared for a caretaker government. Through it all, King Charles remained silent, calm, and dignified. When he finally appeared in public at a charity event in Scotland, he smiled and greeted people warmly, never mentioning the crisis. Analysts called it the art of invisible dominance. The global reaction was immediate. CNN called it the most dramatic royal intervention since King George III. European headlines read, "The King speaks without speaking." Even the Canadian Parliament reaffirmed respect for the monarchy, a diplomatic embarrassment for Starmer. By the weekend, Labour was falling apart. MPs whispered about replacing their leader, and resignation letters piled up. Then, from Windsor Castle, came a single line from the palace: "His Majesty remains dedicated to the preservation of constitutional order." Those words sent shockwaves through Westminster. Experts warned it was the same phrase used before royal intervention. Some speculated the king might dissolve Parliament if the crisis deepened. Inside Labour HQ, the atmosphere turned toxic. Starmer's allies deserted him. The party was collapsing under the weight of his defiance. Meanwhile, the king remained untouched, silent, steady, unshaken. Because in Britain, the crown doesn't shout, it endures. What we're witnessing isn't just a political scandal, it's a constitutional reckoning. The monarchy, long dismissed as symbolic, has reminded the world it still holds real power when provoked. The man who tried to challenge the throne now watches everything he built crumble. As Britain stands at a crossroads, one question remains. Will Starmer resign, or will history remember him as the Prime Minister who lost a battle no one wins, against the crown itself?